because of this pandemic, there's a lot of homeless families out there that people don't even really know about, and it's for right reason, because I got a couple of families that come here simply just to take showers. They're sleeping in their
Family?
car. Oh yeah.
Wow.
Sleeping in their cars with their children. But they don't want people to know that they're in the car with their children because they're afraid that perhaps somebody would, Child Protective Service or someone would take the kids from them, and so nobody want to run the risk of losing their children. And so it's like, look, let's keep this on hush hush and we'll get through, and so I really wish that there were more places just like Family Life that, could be able to serve families, put them up in a place to stay, give them the stability that they need until they get on their feet. Because the truth is that sometimes life just happens. Some of it by no fault of your own, and then some of it you made bad choices, but at the same time, some children is suffering as a result of it.
Yeah.
And so looking at the growing number of homeless families really concerns me.
What's up, family? How you guys doing? This is Todd Bethel. Welcome to another edition of God Dreamers. But today we have a special guest. Got a good friend of mine, Luther Washington. Today we're gonna be talking about family, and as many of you know, there's been a lot of challenges with family over the last years, in particular with the pandemic and so forth. But anyway, let's get started. Luther.
Yes.
First of all, welcome, man, to
Thank
God
you,
Dreamers, man. Thank you
Thank
for spending some time with us today. I really appreciate it.
Cool, man. Thank you for having me, man. What an honor to be looked at as a God dreamer. That in itself is powerful.
Well, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
sir.
So how's life been treating you, man? I mean, you've been
Man.
staying busy with your center and so forth.
Real busy. A lot of hurting people out there, Todd. A lot of hurting people, man. Some of the issues are too big to fill, but we do the best that we can with what the Lord has given us. So.
Yeah, share a little bit about your organization to the viewers. Yeah.
So Family Life Restoration Center is a nonprofit organization, 501c3, that began back in 2006, and simply just had the vision of sort of having like a one-stop shop for the family. Back in the day, we used to have a full-service gas station.
Yeah, I remember that.
Where you pull a car in, you can get gas, you can get your tire changed. And we kind of wanted to create that same thing for the family, where they can come and if they, kind of need some food to kind of help get them through the rest of the month, need an extra shirt for work or something like that, don't really have the cash to go out and purchase it. We wanted to kind of be there and meet them at the point of their need.
Gotcha.
And so that's what Family Life Restoration Center is.
Wow, so how did you get to this point of where you are today? I mean, I know you're a veteran, and thank you for your service.
Thank you. 14 years.
14 years, okay.
In the
Army?
Yes, sir.
Army,
yes,
all
sir.
right.
Loved it, man. Went to Desert Storm, of course. Served over in Desert Storm. Was quite a challenge, but grateful to serve. But Family Life, man, I tell you, you asked how we get to this point.
Yeah.
Lots of prayers, lots of crying, but grateful to be here. I mean, I was attending Beulah Heights Bible College, taking some night classes, and at that time I was taking a class that was called Managing a Nonprofit Organization, and kind of had in my heart, a nonprofit, Family Life that is, and but did not know how to kind of write it out on paper and put the mission statement, the vision statement, and all of that. And so one of my college professors helped me to kind of get it out of my heart onto paper.
Okay.
And when we were done, he asked me, he said, man, this is going to be a great organization right here. He said, are you going to do it? And I said, yeah, but I don't know where to start. It's on paper now. How do I put it into action? But just like the way God does things is He'll give you a vision, and you just have to trust Him. You can't take it in your own head and think you're going to have all the answers. You just have to follow Him, and that's what we did, man. I just followed Him, and He brought me to the facility that we're operating out of, and He wrapped me with some good friends. Brought me some good friends in my life, some supporters, some donors. He brought everything that we needed. It was almost as if He was waiting for me to get in place, and then He brought all of the necessary parts of it that was needed to make it happen.
Wow, that's awesome. Yeah, when we were setting up, when we first got here, I mean, this place was, and he said it was a slow day, but to me it wasn't slow. I walked in, man, people just moving around. they had the pantry open, and then there were people picking up food. I mean, it was just a busy atmosphere, but a good atmosphere. I mean, and just to see, the need.
Oh man.
So let's talk about family. I mean,
Sure.
what is family to you? And like I said before, these days it used to be, that definition used to be easy back in the day. Today is a little bit more hard to define. Well, I wouldn't say it's harder to define. I think we've made it harder to define.
Yeah.
But to you, what is family?
To me, Brother Todd, family is everything. It is. I mean, I was blessed to come into a family. Shout out to my mom and dad. I was blessed to come into a family that really believed in family spending time together, family eating dinner together, no secrets. I mean, there was no subject that was off the table. Whatever was on your heart, I could go to my mom and my dad and talk to them about it. And so family is, I don't see how anyone could even exist without having a strong family. And I know that's not always the case for others, but that sense of family is just powerful, man. It's everything to me, Todd. Everything.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, I mean, like I said, family has kind of changed over the over the last years, and in particular, it's kind of funny because it's funny, but it's not funny.
Yeah.
When the pandemic took place, a lot of the families were forced to be together.
Yeah.
Under one roof.
Yeah.
In the past, everybody, parents are working, kids are in school, but then when the pandemic hit, it was almost like everybody was under that, that same umbrella.
Yeah.
And if there were any dysfunctions, those things definitely reared
Oh,
its
it
ugly
magnified.
head.
It magnified. But then, too, I think just like there were those things that magnified,
Yeah.
I think that it really helped some families to grow. It made some folks, because I've had conversation with other, brothers and sisters in Christ that said, man, you know what? I didn't realize what a jewel I had in a wife.
Yeah.
I didn't realize what a jewel I had in my husband or in my children. So the pandemic helped in some cases. It helped you to slow down, and kind of get off the old chasing the mouse.
Yeah.
And be able to watch and see what the
Yeah.
Lord really blessed you with. So it worked good and bad.
Yeah. So you being the director here and the founder, have you seen any changes in the last few years or trends with some of the challenges with families? I know many of us are already aware of divorce and blended families, and then substance abuse and personal abuse and so forth. Have you seen any trends or anything that's changed in the last few years with the family, you being working here?
Yeah, and again, just kind of going back to what the pandemic did, just not spending time together. And I counsel couples as well, and when you really get down to the root of it, they're just not spending. They're not hearing each other. I mean, they're having conversation, but it's in past. I'm so busy doing blah blah blah. I only said this, and I didn't take the time to make myself clear. So just not spending quality time together, not taking breaks, not going on vacation together, just not spending time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can easily be guilty of that, because I know, with my wife and my family, I know that I've worked really hard, and I think with men, we show our love by working. And we think, and maybe, and sometimes wives correct us on that for sure, but we show our love by working, and so as long as we're working, bringing money into the house, taking care of the kids, taking care of the wife, we're doing our job. But it's really more to it than that. And then when the pandemic happened, I was kind of realized, I said, you know what? I gotta really work in this area, because a lot of things I took for granted, and I would imagine you've experienced the same thing.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah. Because I'm always doing stuff, and you're right. Most men identify themselves with what they do.
Yeah.
And I mean, to know that you went to work, put in a hard, honest day's work, bringing home some money and taking care of the family, it's like, yeah, I'm the man. I did it. Well, to ourselves, that is.
Yeah.
But women don't see it that way. They want you. They want some quality time with you. And so, yeah, man.
Yeah. So, we're working at the center here. You see a lot, I would imagine, with the family, a lot of dysfunction. I mean, you're in that ministry of serving those people, so you're going to see the people that are hurting the most.
Yeah, man.
What right now is really one of the biggest challenges for families in general?
Right now, because of this pandemic, there's a lot of homeless families out there. that people don't even really know about, and it's for right reason, because I got a couple of families that come here simply just to take showers. They're sleeping in their car.
Family?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Wow.
Sleeping in their cars with their children, but they don't want people to know that they're in the car with their children because they're afraid that perhaps somebody would, Child Protective Service or someone would
Yeah.
take their kids from them, and so nobody want to run the risk of losing their children, and so it's like, look, let's keep this on hush hush, and we'll get through, and so I really wish that there were more places just like Family Life that could be able to serve families, put them up in a place to stay, give them the stability that they need until they get on their feet, because the truth is that sometimes life just happens,
Yeah.
some of it by no fault of your own. And then some of it, you made bad choices, but at the same time, some children is suffering as a result of it.
Yeah.
And so looking at the growing number of homeless families really concerns me.
Yeah, I was downtown. I work with another friend of mine. He has a homeless ministry. So I went downtown with him, and after 5 o'clock, the only people that were left were mainly, I wowould say about 95% of them were homeless.
Wow.
Downtown Atlanta. I mean, I was like, I couldn't believe it because I was thinking, I said, where are all these people doing? The guy was like, these are all homeless people.
Yep.
I mean, older men, young women, older women. So yeah, it is definitely a growing, concern. And I know, with the pandemic that didn't help any, but yeah, that's a big challenge right now.
But there's some folks have I would say a wrong view of what homelessness really is. I mean, they think that when they think somebody homeless, they think of someone which is wrong. Someone that don't take a bath, someone that don't have something. They're out there just begging and bumming and asking for this and asking for that. But there's multiple faces of homelessness. Mm-hmm. There's some folks just like you and I who work hard every day, just don't have enough coming in and homeless. And so they don't think about the different faces of homelessness. Well, working in this line of work here at Family Life, we see all faces. It would probably shock you if I told you that I had a school teacher that came in here that was homeless.
What?
And imagine that. You're sending your child to school every day, and the teacher who's teaching your child is suffering from homelessness and too afraid to say anything to anyone just because of the wrong,
stigma.
The stigma that comes along with it. And so I just wish people would some folks would get out of their own way
Yeah.
and say, hey, we're here to help.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what you look like. If you're homeless, we're here to help.
Yeah.
And that would
Yeah,
make
you're
us,
right. I mean, because housing now, I was out in San Francisco.
Yeah.
And out in LA, San Francisco, and then I was talking to, I had a job interview at the time, so I was talking to the guide, and the guy was telling me that the bus drivers can't afford to live in the San Francisco area, so they drive in from, I think it's Stockton.
Wow.
And they sleep in their cars during the week, and then drive back home on the weekends. And then some of the workers, can't afford. I mean, they're getting paid like $100,000 a year, but still that's not enough to pay for housing.
That's right.
So you're right. I mean, the faces of homelessness is not the same. It's not that same stigma.
That's right. Yeah, man. Underemployed is just as bad as no employment in some cases.
Yeah. So what else here that you're seeing that's a trend or a change in the community as far as families?
I've also had a number of homeless youth that have come that needing help. And of course, we do what we can to
That sounds strange. Homeless youth?
Yeah. I mean, it's amazing when you get somebody 16, 17 years old that's homeless. Now, mind you, things happen in the family setting,
Yeah.
that'll make a parent perhaps tell a child, look, you go fend for yourself because you ain't gonna do right in my house.
Yeah.
But it still don't take away from the fact that there's a kid on the street. So Family Life doesn't have a shelter perhaps for homeless youth, but it would be nice to have something like that in our community.
Yeah.
A place that we could, because that is a growing number of that happening as well.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a lot of stuff that's going on that people are really in need.
Man.
I know we're getting ready to close out, but is there anything else would you like to share about what what you guys are doing now and in the community? And thank you for for your service in the community, because like I said, that's fortunately we need more of people like you and the things that you're doing in the neighborhood. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
But any other words of encouragement? Oh yeah, how can people get involved?
So, people can get involved simply by either visiting us on the World Wide Web, www.flrconline.org. We're located at 6105 Mableton Parkway, that's in Mableton, Georgia, 30126. Or, I love it when people come by. I love giving folks a tour so that they can see the great work that's going on here in Mableton. We've been in operation 15 years. We just celebrated 15 years.
Congrats.
Yeah, man. Last year we serviced just a little over about 15,000 households that came through here looking for food, clothing, shelter, you name it, they come through. Even the services that we don't provide under the roof, we partner with other nonprofits that provide services that we don't provide. So we're sort of like that one-stop shop that I was explaining, So, but man, look, get involved. We're always looking for volunteers.
Yes, okay.
So volunteers is always needed to work in the food pantry, packing boxes, serving in the clothing closet, and doing those things that help families that really need it. We also have a prayer room. And so if there's anybody in ministry that would like to come and just, pray for some of the clients as they come in, we have a space that's set aside where they can pray with some of our clients.
Well, that's awesome,
Yeah,
man. And what's your normal times of being open?
So we're here Tuesday through Friday from 10 a.m.
Okay.
until 3 p.m. And so, hey, just love to have you. If you can come in and say, hey,
Yeah.
I can do just maybe 30 minutes. We can find something for you to do 30 minutes. Yes, sir.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, man.
Thank you so much, man, for hanging out with us today. It was
Thank you
great
for having me.
to share, some of the things that you're doing in the community, and looking forward to doing some more things in the near future.
Cool. Well, man, you keep us in your prayers, man, and we'll do likewise.
Definitely.
Yes, sir.
So, guys, until next time, thanks again for hanging out with us today. If you have any ideas, or if you know of anybody that's doing some great things in the community, or just doing great things, period, let us know, man. We would love to spend some time with them. So, you guys take care. God bless.